Now to the controversy at the famous Guruvayur Sri Krishna temple, which is now performing quote-unquote a purification ceremony over the next few days after a social media influencer and a Big Boss contestant, Jasmin Jaffar, dipped her feet in the sacred pond and made a viral social media reel. Vasudha.
That's right, Vida. The temple had filed a complaint against the influencer for violating temple traditions and court orders on photography being prohibited inside the temple premises. It's not the first time an influencer making a social media reel at places of worship has ended up sparking a controversy. Multiple questions in this case, but the reels has gone viral thanks to this controversy, and that seems to be the objective of social media influencers.
Well, that's right. There are also questions on whether religious places tend to overreact in the era of Instagram. Joining us this evening, author and one who follows Kerala's religious customs very, very closely, Rahul Ishwar, social media influencers Hajras Sethi and Kanisha Malhotra. My first question to you, Rahul Ishwar, as touchy as topic it can be, do religious places of worship need to be a little more accommodating of social media, real influencers, or perhaps other issues as far as religious context is concerned? And, are they overreacting?
Veer Raghavji, Vasudha ma'am, two submissions. One, every temple has its own unique customs and rituals. No, we can call them rules and regulations. We call them achara anushtanas. Under Article 25 and 26, fundamental rights of Indian Constitution, every temple has a right to do so. For example, in Shabarimala, inside Shabarimala Hindu temple, there is a mini Islamic shrine. That is the culture and custom of Shabarimala. But in Guruvayur, people from other faith are not allowed. In Attigal Pongala, millions of ladies only offer Pongala. No man is offering it. So temples have their own very unique, differentiated custom. We cannot see any kind of homogeneity in it. So this beautiful heterogeneity is a part of Hindu culture and our tradition. That's the reality of it. Second, Jasmin Jaffar, a very prominent influencer, has apologized. We all devotees welcome their apology. It's a good step forward. They have to be sensitive and responsible regarding these because it affects the devotees, devotion and sentiments of millions of people. But the goodness of Kerala is we amicably settled it. Nobody made it a Hindu-Muslim issue. Nobody made it a communal issue. Nobody even made communal remarks. We understand that a young girl, out of her overzealousness, may have shot a reel. But that is the thing. She issued an apology. The temple conducted purification ceremony. No devotee complained outside or no other issue was made. So we amicably settled it. And I would request all the influencers to be mindful of religious sensitivities and sensibilities, because the point is, see, there are millions of people involved. There will be all categories of people. Some may find Jasmin Jaffar from a Muslim.
Yes, I just want to ask you this one thing, that a lot of people are going away from religion also because of these rules and rigidity, and I know a lot of people are becoming more conservative, that there is that side as well. To make religion far more accommodating, shouldn't we actually be okay with this? I'm not okay with the influencers doing all this in temples, but is there a better way of telling them, instead of just looking for criminal action in this purification ceremony? That really is undermining and a little bit of an overreaction, isn't it?
Vasudhaji, I partially concede that point. I strongly believe there should not be any criminal kind of an action. This was a young girl, trying to get some reach and all. We respect that. See, we have been fighting even for people like Sri Yeshudas, a Christian singer, one of the greatest devotional singers, down south and India, to Guruvayur and other temples. See, there is an ultra-conservative section of any society. Let's be honest about it. I'm a conservative person, but there are ultra-conservative sections of society who have their own inhibitions and their own proclivities. We need to balance, synthesize, and harmonize a lot of people. So, we always have to take a position that is preservative of our tradition, culture, and sensibility. So the only thing is just one line. We have to take care of our traditions. Otherwise, the believers will get agitated.
No, a fair point that you're making, Hajras Sethi. Given the context, is there too much focus on making reels everywhere and getting viral, hits? That seems to be the bigger problem. You want to make a reel out of anything, that will go viral.
I hope I'm audible. Hello?
Yeah, Hajras Sethi, that was for you. Lakshya. We'll come to Lakshya Narula in just a bit. But Hajras Sethi, is it all about, getting that content go viral? Okay, Kanishka Malhotra, yeah.
So, hi, first of all, thank you for having me. I genuinely believe that as a creator, we also have some responsibilities. So, I'm sure that there are so many people who want to get a lot of views. Like a couple of days back, I was just standing on the road and I saw this guy in the middle of road creating a reel. So I think there should be some boundaries. We need to have every sort of work you do, you need to have some boundaries. Like in offices, we have boundaries. So we need to, as a creator also, just because we don't have a 9 to 5, we cannot just say that let's not have boundaries. So I think it is very important to know what's right and what's wrong. You cannot just go into a temple and start creating reel. I think it's very, very important to understand the rules and regulations of a place and follow them. So like I think it's very important to have those rules in place first of all. So as a creator, I really feel that you have a responsibility of your own
Right.
to not just take anything and everything and make it a content. Of course, you can make content where you want, but you cannot just go and make everything a content. There need to be, like, you can't go to a funeral and make a content. And even in temple,
this
you have
Absolutely.
to
I
have.
mean, that I think, is a very balanced point. But, Lakshan Arula, a few days ago, Sikh groups also filed an FIR against an influencer who had gone to Golden Temple to do some yoga. And then we saw similar cases even with Augie, because Augie had gone to some temple town in Kashmir and he had posted a picture of some alcohol bottle. I mean, these cases just keep coming up, and we keep talking about criminalizing the youngsters of the country, which is very painful, because young people don't need to be, scared and, fearful of this kind of action. But at the same time, how do we tell them that this is enough and, something more than this would actually be crossing the maryada?
First of all, I think we have to, we have to witness the pain point here. What we are seeing is basically a dangerous obsession that the Gen Z has behind chasing likes and views, at the cost of values. What I have witnessed over the course of time nowadays, in this rush of digital validation, we could say, they've lost the plot of difference between insensitivity and creativity, right? There has to be a thin line. There is a thin line between creativity and insensitivity. And I think the recent case, this whole incident of what we are talking about of the Guru Vayur is basically, or, the Sikh community, what they have done. I think the Gen Z is absolutely going behind instant gratification right now. And also, these platforms also, they reward these bold and shocking content. If you see a lot of engagement, the platform also pushes, not a lot of people talk about this, that the platform also is responsible somehow, because they push a lot of content like these where there's a lot of instant gratification, where there's insensitivity. And I think we have to set a precedent for the influencers, for everyone, that there is a thin line between creativity and insensitivity. And I think it should not be acceptable at any cost. And I think what Rahul said, Rahul mentioned right, absolutely.
Lakshya and Kanisha, I have one very important question, and I want a very, very honest answer from you, Kanisha. This controversy for Jasmin has led to enormous amount of viral views for her Instagram or her social media post. Now, if you keep that as the objective of success, would she or most other people tend to do such things just because that will get them more viral posts?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest reasons somebody starts becoming a creator or an influencer is to get fame. So if anybody is getting that sort of fame, so that means that they've reached there. So the problem is with the society as well. We are giving those views to them. Instead, we should just, put a balance to that. We should not be promoting such posts. So anybody who is actually looking at it and promoting it or liking it.
Rahul Ishwar, there's also one more thing that
this, because this will only make it more viral.
And all of us have watched that video, Veera, which is what I want to bring to Rahul Ishwar's notice. Rahul, your tweets go viral, but these videos also go viral. There's also the sense that people keep comparing. Would she have done this in a church? Would she have done this in a mosque? Why do we get into this comparison thing? Because there's a beauty that Hinduism has. Temples have that beautiful aspect to them. Of course, probably there should be some sense of decorum, but that needs to come from within, isn't it? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, yes. See, I'm a Hindu right-wing activist, and I openly say that. But I always say we don't need anything like an ultra-right. See, there might be urban Naxals, but we need not be urban Nazis. So this kind of extreme fringe in any community or ideology is bad. So for everything that concerning Hinduism, let us not invoke anything that will happen in church or mosque. Second, Jasmin Jaffar is a very known face. With due respect to her, I don't think she consciously made a controversy, even though it might have become controversial. I think we need more sensible middle ground or sensible middle of the road kind of a conversation here where we respect. She accepted the mistake. People were gracious to accept it, and the issues got over. See, this is the kind of thing that we need to have, and we need to bring a synthesis. And one very important thing I would like to emphasize is in Kerala, it never became a communal problem. It never became anything like a conflicting problem. People were magnanimous from both sides, and we settled it amicably.
All right, 20 seconds, Lakshya. You run out of time. You can make a comment that can go viral now.
Well, I just want to say that we're here to develop some bright future for the youngsters as well. But at the same time, I think, as Rahul mentioned, but I want to say that we need to be a bit more stringent with the laws that have to come in place, and not get lost about the whataboutery. Isne aisa kiya to usne aisa kiya. We don't have to go about whataboutery right now. We always have to focus on what's right, follow it, and make an impact in the world. That's what we're here for, right? Influencers are here to make an impact in a positive way. And I think we can do it, given that we have people around us who are also enlightening each other. So I think that's very important for us to make sure that we're creating the right impact, because people are going to follow us, right? We are influencers or whatever we call. People are going to follow us. If we make reels on streets doing all gaga and all that, there are going to be 10 more people, because they know this is the way of living. So we don't want that thing to happen,
10 more
right?
seconds, but unfortunately, I'm completely out of time. But all of you have made their points. Let's hope this conversation goes viral, and perhaps people don't upset religious sentiments or any sentiment just in the quest of making posts go viral. Vasudha.
Absolutely, Veera. And also, I disagree with Lakshya. I don't need any more laws. I want young people in this country to be free and, more importantly, expressive and, of course, respectful of sentiments.